thank you. Moments ago, Vice President Kamala Harris arriving in Wisconsin, kicking off her nationwide tour on abortion rights. 12 News' Madison Moore is live at Milwaukee's Mitchell International Airport. Madison, Air Force Two landed within the last 10 minutes. We can see you are waiting for the Vice President to get off the plane.
Yeah, hey Mallory, I know you guys can't see me right now, but what you're looking at right now is Air Force Two that has just landed about 15 minutes ago here at Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport, and we are just waiting for the Vice President to step off the plane. As you can see, we are probably looking right now at the door as these stairs are up near the door, but what I can see on the ground is there are a number of people here waiting to greet the Vice President. We have Congresswoman Gwen Moore is on the ground, Attorney General Josh Kaul is here, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson, County Executive David Crowley, and multiple other people are here waiting to greet the Vice President and here she is. Here is Vice President Kamala Harris. You can see walking down the stairs right now, just gave a little bit of a wave. And the Vice President is here to kick off her national tour and campaign talking about abortion rights and access across the country, choosing here in Wisconsin and Waukesha County to start that campaign. As you can see right now, Vice President Kamala Harris is being greeted by Congresswoman Gwen Moore and shaking hands with folks here that are making their way, Congress people, to greet the Vice President. This is her 5th time to Wisconsin since being sworn in as Vice President. And again, this is for the nationwide tour that is starting, talking about abortion access here in Wisconsin as well as across the country. Now, we do know that the Vice President is going to be traveling to Waukesha County, but before that, before her speech, we have been told by White House officials that she will be meeting privately with healthcare officials and healthcare providers, as well as people who have experienced difficulties with abortion access here in Wisconsin. We know right now in the state of Wisconsin, it is 20 weeks. You can have an abortion up to 20 weeks of pregnancy. But just on Friday, Wisconsin Republicans actually proposed a bill that would reduce that to 14 weeks. And that's a bill that we'll have a public hearing on actually today in Madison. And it looks like the Vice President is just now waving to the cameras and getting into her motorcade. So it appears that there will be no comments made to the press here, just getting into that motorcade and driving away. It's obviously a very chilly day here today, quite icy on the ground. All of these Congress people, as well as the Attorney General, are currently walking away right now as they just greeted as they just greeted here. And so it looks like we're going to have to move, Mallory. So I'm going to send it back to you in the studio, and we'll have more here from the airport as soon as we can get back. We just have to move out from the tarmac.
Yeah, that's Madison Moore reporting live for us from the Milwaukee airport this morning as the Vice President landed. Thank you, Madison. Well, from the airport, Vice President Harris is now headed to Waukesha County. She's making her way to the International Union of Painters and Allied Trades District Council 7 for a speech. 12 News Political Director Matt Smith joins us live from the union headquarters in the village of Vernon. Matt, the Vice President chose to visit Waukesha County deliberately.
Mallory, Waukesha County, a typical Republican stronghold. The Vice President will be here in a matter of minutes after coming from the airport here. As you can see, the crowd has gathered already, a number of supporters. She will take the stage in this, the first of a multi-state, multi-city tour talking about abortion rights. We've seen the president of Wisconsin's Planned Parenthood, Senator Tammy Baldwin, came just a few minutes ago. She's expected to address the crowd along with Congresswoman Gwen Moore, really setting the stage for what this debate is going to center around ahead of the 2024 elections, and specifically with Ron DeSantis dropping out last night. The administration, the Biden campaign, really now focusing on former President Donald Trump in what is likely going to be a rematch between Trump and Biden. The Vice President expected to say here on the stage, quote, "Let us be clear-eyed about the harm people across our nation are experiencing and who is responsible." The former president handpicked 3 Supreme Court justices because he intended for them to overturn Roe. He made a decision to take your freedoms, and it is a decision he does not regret. Back out here live, the Vice President addressing the crowd within probably 90 minutes or so. As we look ahead to 2024, a critical issue for Democrats working to hone in on. When you look at Wisconsin voters, at this point at least, on issues like the economy, immigration, they say they would trust former President Trump more than President Biden and Democrats. Abortion, a key issue they are working to hone in on. We will be here for her speech and bring you the remarks live online and, of course, updates throughout our afternoon newscasts. Mallory.
Yes, we will continue to follow this as the vice president makes her way throughout southeast Wisconsin. Thanks, Matt. The Wisconsin Republican Party says Harris is visiting Wisconsin not only because of her abortion agenda, but because the Biden ticket is losing voters.
Vice President Kamala Harris is in Wisconsin today for one reason and one reason only. They're losing this election. The fact of the matter is where she ought to be in a different zip code. It's a twofer because if Joe Biden is not doing well, Kamala Harris is doing worse. So not only is she trying to rescue the administration today, she's trying to rescue herself as a candidate on this ticket.
Brian Schimming, the chairman of the Republican Party of Wisconsin, who you just heard from, also urges Harris to share her abortion position and then listen to what the voters want.